Hey everyone, AJ here, and in this video, I'm gonna walk you guys through why we created this Fungo size 36.5-inch model and how exactly it's gonna help you train specific characteristics inside your swing and improve your barrel turn. This model is specifically designed for 3 reasons. When you're using it with the entire curriculum that we give you, it's gonna improve a lot of other things inside of your swing as well, but 3 main reasons were why this model was created. Number 1, trusting the arc that you create behind you, trusting this actual barrel turn that you're developing inside of this curriculum. Number 2, handle force, you actually learning how to pivot extremely hard and quick because you can't get away with much else with this size of a half bat. And then the last but not least is going to be the tilt in the swing that happens during your forward move as you tilt and your pelvis actually starts to tilt up as you go throughout this process. Those 3 things are the big reasons why we developed it at this length, and we tested all of the other lengths. When we're learning how to trust this arc behind us, what will happen, and you'll notice this in your training, is you'll start on the tees, you'll start on side toss at that angled side toss, right? Where this guy's like kind of throwing this ball almost behind you towards this back hip, towards this back area in like no man's land. And when he's throwing those balls behind you, at first you're really gonna wanna go like this to go get it, especially if you push the barrel a lot before you got here, because most likely you spent your whole career with all the force out in front of your body. So no handle force, body turning, and then pushing through the zone right in there. That's most likely like where you spend a lot of your time. So when you start really working on barrel depth behind you back here, it feels super weird, right? It feels almost foreign. It feels almost wrong when you're trying to learn it because it goes against everything that everybody's most likely told you beforehand. And then all of a sudden you start to feel it and things get quicker and you start to realize that it takes less effort to do it as long as your effort's in the right place in your hand. And so what this bat allows you to do is learn how to trust this big arc that you're creating behind you so you can let these balls on side toss actually get just a little bit deeper. But the biggest reason why you have to learn how to trust this, you have to pivot this excessively quick. You have to put so much force into the handle so fast in order to get this thing on plane quick enough to hit these balls flush. And then you also have to let it get extremely deep to hit these balls flush with this bat. The further that you get out with this bat as you pivot through space, the most likely that you're going to clip and start rolling, right? And just start rolling towards the end, which is completely fine when you're actually done with the swing and you've already made contact. But if you're trying to really focus on hit the ball way out front, really like way out there with this bat, you're gonna fail. One of the best drills you can do with this bat is snap stops, which you'll see a ton in this curriculum, just forcing yourself to catch every ball, boom, right at 6 o'clock, because you're training this in your swing. This bat wasn't created for you to train what happens out here because all of that is strictly dictated by everything that happened before it. So we knew that going into this model that 1, it would be a little bit harder for a lot of people to learn just because it is a training product. It's not made to be easy. But on top of that, it actually helps you improve the quickness in your hands because of the length and the size. So you can't get away with kind of pivoting through space. No, you really got to be sudden. You absolutely have to be sudden with this and you'll realize that. And then you also have to let it travel extremely deep and learn how to trust this arc behind you. If you don't and you're too focused on catching it out front, you could have a pretty decent turn, but then the further you let the ball get out front before you make contact, the most likely you will start cut, even if you turn everything correctly, right? Turn, and then all of a sudden now you're focused on making contact out here. That's where you will start to roll and cut simply because you didn't let it get deep enough. You didn't trust the arc enough. You could have had a good arc, but you didn't trust it enough to let the ball travel deep for you to make contact. And so that's one of the big goals with this bat. The third one, which is still extremely important and one that I think is really cool that a lot of people overlook, is low pitches, low tee work, low drill work with this bat. One of the common flaws that we saw with a lot of guys is when they start with us, they may figure out the barrel turn great and they have it when it's middle away, maybe even a little inside and even high, right? But all of a sudden, these low pitches, for some reason, guys will start to turn the barrel and then they're too scared to miss it. We call it ball anxiety. They're more worried about making sure that they go hit it than they are letting the ball get deep and just trusting this arc behind them. That instead of trusting this arc and trusting the tilt from their rear leg as they go forward and trusting that they're gonna be able to tilt when they actually go down to hit this, instead, they'll just go forward and release their arms too soon and try to go down and hit it like that. So the cool thing about this bat is that you can have this thing right off your neck without extending your arms at all, and you're gonna be able to hit that bottom right corner as a right-handed hitter, or that bottom left corner as a left-handed hitter. You just have to actually trust the arc and trust the tilt at the very last second, when you're going to do it. And that thing covers way down. I mean, that's 36.5 inches away from me. That's a really far distance. Anything lower than that, it's gonna be a ball. When I can snap stop on something like that and I can trust that arc, then I know and I believe and I start to train my body to allow the ball to get deeper, even if it's low and away, soft and away, so that way I can still do damage on those low and away pitches. 3 big things. First one, trust the arc, absolutely massive, probably the biggest and most important. The second one is handle force. If you don't put enough pressure into this handle instantly, when you go to turn it, it's gonna be a tough time for you at the very beginning. You really gotta go through this process. And then step 3 is gonna be the tilt. So all 3 of those require you to let the ball travel extremely deep, to trust this arc, to be sudden in your hand pivot, and to actually train the barrel turn correctly. So that's why we created this specific model in conjunction with the Mini Snap Pro model that we have as well. So moving forward, I'm excited for you guys to go down underneath inside this curriculum and follow these drills step by step. But before you do that, I do want to make one recommendation on these drills. These drills down underneath this video were designed in a systematic format, but that does not mean that you need to do every drill in order every day or go on about that process. Hitting is not black and white. It's not yes and no as far as program design goes. Even with all of our remote hitters who come to us for their custom programming and get their swings reviewed 24/7, we are consistently adjusting cues. We are consistently adjusting the drills on a consistent basis in order to make sure, one, that workload is still good, but two, they're actually making progress in the right direction. If you go through this process and you just like mix and match and dabble with drills randomly, you're really not going to see a significant change. So my recommendation is to choose some of the drills down below that you actually struggle with and choose some that feel pretty good to you, that you do already okay or pretty good, depending on your level of experience with this stuff. And then as you go through that process, stick with them for a period of time before you just start changing things. That way you can allow yourself to learn these drills over time and actually make an impact to your swing before you move on to do all the other drills. Now, I'm sure some of you are excited and you're just gonna kind of go through the drills and just see what all of them feel like and all. That's completely fine, and I expect that. But once you feel what they feel like and you kind of understand the differences between them, make sure that you're choosing drills that you feel like really help you feel what you need to feel and think about what you need to think about while you're training, so that way you're making progress on a consistent basis.